G'day, I'm Warwick and this is our backyard. So the wife and I about 2 years ago quit our jobs on the mainland and got a caretaking job on this island. We live on the island permanently. It's a privately owned island in Great Barrier Reef, and this is all about us just living the simple life. Just us and 3 chickens, island style. So let's go get into it. Hope you enjoy. Alright, I'm back. Been away for a couple of weeks. Haven't done a video for about 3 weeks, I think. So it's time to do another video. Been to the mainland and had to stay there a bit longer. Had to get this little nasty thing cut off my face and all that sort of stuff. And went to the dentist, went to the doctors, got a haircut. And got a new microphone. Look. So hopefully our sound is a little bit better now. So it was pretty rubbish before. So I thought this video might do on how we live off the grid. So there's some solar panels here actually. So we're all on solar. All the houses on the island, so 7 houses on the island, and all on solar, and we've got our own water on the island and all that. So we're totally off grid. Got to get rid of our rubbish off the island, all that sort of stuff. So I thought I'd just go through quickly what our systems are on the house, just in case you're interested. These solar panels aren't actually for our house. These solar panels are actually for this house down there. So that's the beach just behind our house, and all our solar panels are up on the roof. So we'll go and have a look. Check out these pumpkins. these have just gone wild out of the compost bin. So I made these for the chickens to scratch around in, but also our compost goes into them. So it works really well. And then I just get a bit of seaweed from the beach as well every now and again, and put that in there. A few leaves that I get off the lawn and that. But yeah, these pumpkins, check them out. They're actually pretty healthy. Going all the way across the lawn now. And there was another one that grew wild. It's going crazy, which is down in here. It's going out there. It's in the big jungle, but some of it comes there, and another branch of it goes all the way over there, and this one here is heading over the lawn. So we're going to get some pumpkins off. Oh, there was one there yesterday. There was one there, look, and it's gone rotten and fallen off. So I don't know why they do that. Actually, if anybody knows why pumpkins do that, can you let me know? Yes, I run a couple of gardens. There's one here. Actually, I just stripped this out the other day, and I've just planted it again. You can see all the seedlings coming up. There's a whole lot of rocket. We love rocket, so you can never have enough rocket in the garden. There's some ginger happening there. There's chilies, and I've got some got the pizza oven there. I've got another garden out the front here, but I need to get in there and actually dig it out and redo most of it. There's a nice couple big chilies, and there's some basil. Basil's pretty good. We like basil. Good for making basil pesto. Right. Well, it's a bit windy today, so hopefully my new microphone's working a bit better. Otherwise you probably wouldn't even be able to hear me. So I think the first thing to do, I'll show you where we get our power from. We'll go and have a look on the roof. Alright. So this is our little caretaker's cottage up here. And it's not a real big house, but it's actually perfect. I reckon if we built a house, we'd build nothing any bigger than this. This is actually all you need. It's only a 1 bedroom, that's the only thing, but yeah, plenty big enough for 2 people. But anyway, these panels here are what runs our power. And so, and I can't give you any figures because I don't know the figures on our system, how many kilowatts or whatever. But anyway, all I know is just enough to do our place. We have to run the generator every now and again when it's cloudy. Today is nice and sunny, and we only really get the sun from obviously there, and it's just going off the roof now, as you can see, just there. So just going off the roof, and it's just going past the trees there. So we're just starting to lose it, and it's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 2:30 in the afternoon. But these actually probably could do with an upgrade. These are probably about 15 years old now, but you can just see there's a few little cracks in them, and but new panels would actually make this system run so much better. So yeah, that's where it all starts. I'll show you down under the house where it actually puts the power into the batteries and all that. Right, so that's our view from the front of our house. Woo, she's windy today. Right, let's go into the house. Oh yeah, so the other thing about living off grid we've got is 3 chickens, so it's pretty good. They supply us eggs every day, and this is their little house that I made out of driftwood and some old iron I found laying in the bushes out the back. That's where they lay usually, in the washing basket. They love it in the washing basket. I don't know where they are at the moment. Must be in the bushes somewhere, scratching around, free ranging. They love it at the beach actually. Right, let's go and have a look at the rest of the system. Oh yeah, we've got some bananas coming too, look. Look at those bananas. And we've got some more over here. There we go. That's going to be the one that's going to be ready first. It's going to be a good bunch. It's pretty good having bananas. They grow well up here. We're in the tropics in North Queensland, so banana country really. On the mainland there's bananas everywhere, like commercial bananas, so yeah, they grow really good. Right, so this is under the house. This is the workshop. Or another thing I do on the island, talking about living off grid, making my own home brew, which is great, so good. And there's all my bottles maturing under there. Right, this is the system. Turn a bit of light on the situation. So the solar panels bring the power down into these regulators. So there's one regulator for each set of panels up there. And then goes into the batteries. Right, I'll show you the batteries. Actually, I better get rid of all this rubbish off here first. Alright, I cleaned all the stuff off the top of the batteries. So this is the battery box here. And I don't know, once again, I don't know how many amp hours it is and all that sort of stuff, but all I know is it's just enough to run our house. But on a good day, on a good sunny day. So yeah, that's the battery bank. And then from the battery bank, it goes into the inverter, turns it into 240 volt. So basically it's running the house like a normal house. You wouldn't even know. If somebody didn't tell you it's running on solar, you wouldn't know any different. They've been plugged into the mains, and except for we don't have aircon. So air conditioning would be pretty handy in the middle of summer. Alright, right now, sort of getting to the end of summer, but some weeks in the middle of summer are pretty hideous. So aircon would be pretty cool, but to have a system to run aircon, it would have to be a pretty decent system. You could do it, But yeah, so we just have to deal with it, put extra fans on, and have cold showers and stuff like that. Also, we have a generator here. If we need to, I'll pull that generator out the side there and run a lead out to it. If we need to run it every now and again, and we do have to every now and again, especially when it's cloudy. And we've had a lot of rain this year, so I've run it a fair bit. But I reckon if the panels were upgraded, I reckon it would run the system much better. Right, let's have a look at our gas. So the hot water cylinder and the stove is gas, so it's a gas stove as well as gas elements, and yeah, gas cylinder. I'll show the cylinder in a minute. And we have 5 bottles for the caretaker's house, so we go through a few bottles, but I think we've been here 2.5 years now, and I reckon I've probably done a gas run about 3 times now, 3 or 4. So yeah, they probably last sort of 6-8 months. But the other houses don't really go through too much gas. Now and again I'll have to replace a bottle in one of the other houses. So there's 7 houses, and no one lives here permanently apart from us, and they're sort of just like holiday homes, and they rent them out to guests every now and again. So yeah, every time I do a gas run, it's probably like about 7-8 bottles maybe. And so not only we live off grid, but we live on the island, of course, so it makes it a whole another scenario. Like if you were living off grid just on the mainland, you'd throw those in your ute or get them delivered, and it's easy. But here they got to come by barge and get dropped on the beach, and then I've got to bring them up to our place and the other places when they need them on the little machine. So they weigh about 100 kilos, I think, when they're full, so they're pretty heavy. But what I've done is I've got it sorted. I've cut down a pallet, and I sit the pallet in there. It sits up about this high, and it's got a little hoist on it, so I tip it up, strap it on, and then just like lay it backwards, so they're sort of on an angle like that, and just one at a time, moving around to the houses and up here. So it's slow, but it's actually pretty good. Saves trying to lift them with your back and stuff, otherwise you'd have a pretty sore back. But actually I've got some footage I'll put up of picking them up off the beach and bringing them up here, I think it was. But it was out with our old machine, and our old machine had a hydraulic hoist, which was actually really good. It was a little bit better than that machine. That one's just got a hand tilt, so you tilt it up. This is our hot water cylinder. Now it works really good, but I think it goes through a bit of gas, this thing. But just yesterday actually I changed the gas bottle over, and I went to relight the cylinder, and the lighter's just packed up, so I've got to get a new lighter. So at the moment I just pulled that panel off, because I just stick the long lighter in there and light it up. So that's our hot water and our power, and our waste goes into this thing. So it's actually a pretty good system. It's called a biocycle, and has a few different compartments, like 4 or 5 compartments in here, and it has air that gets forced in there all the time as well, and so it goes through the different compartments and comes out and gets pumped into the bush. And apparently it's supposed to be pretty much good enough to drink when it comes out of there, but I don't know if I'd be drinking it. But anyway, the system works pretty good. Good system. The only downside with this system is you have to get a certified guy to come and maintain it every so often, a few times a year actually, to keep in compliance with the council. All the houses on the island, apart from about 2 or 3, have this system. Some of them, a couple of them have the older systems, but yeah, works good. And I like my little workshop. It works really good. It's everything I need. It's got plenty of space, and it's nice and open. I get a bit of a view. The banana plants are actually just starting to block my view a little bit. Once those have ripened, I'm going to cut that down so it'll be much better. Yeah, so it's a pretty cool little place, our caretaker's house. We like it. So now we'll go to the spring and I'll show you where we get our water from. Alright, let's go. Alright, this is where we get our water from. Right there it starts. It actually starts, comes out of the ground, well just up in there actually. Just under that rock up there, comes out, and well, this whole area is sort of quite wet, and then it seeps through these reeds and into our pond that down there. We've got a pond there, and then it goes down into the tanks and gets pumped up to the water tanks on top of the hill. So those solar panels there, they run a small pump in the water tank. We'll go down and have a look now. And so this is the pond. It's all got a fence around it to stop creatures and things getting in there, and it's just full of reeds and things that helps with the filtration, I think. And then what happens is it goes into a pipe in that pond, and that pipe runs down there and then into the tank. So we'll go down and have a look, and into the first tank, and then into the second tank, and this is where the pump is in the second tank. So yeah, see, it's overflowing at the moment. There's just so much water because we've had lots of rain in the last few weeks. So it's a pretty simple system, but it actually works really well. So it just goes into there. I clean that filter out every day, because sometimes you get it's all full of leaves sometimes and all that, and that's sort of like a catchment. So any sort of material, I had some of this stuff come down it the other day. This stone came through it because there was a bit of a slip at the back of the pond area, and it came through here. So every day I just open that up, flush it out, and clean that sieve, and keeps it working good. And then in here there's a little pump. It's obviously full of water right now, and then that works from the solar panels, and it pumps the water up this pipe, and it goes all the way to the top of the hill, which will go up there now, and I'll show you where the water tanks are. And this in here is actually a backup pump. So this is actually, I just check for snakes, always wary about coming in here. You never know what's in here, but so that's part of the solar system that runs, the solar comes into there and then feeds into the pump, and that works really well. I've been here 2.5 years now and never even touched it. I lie, it did actually stop once. It was nothing to do with the pump, it was actually the solar panels. A circuit breaker underneath the solar panels actually failed, so I had to run this pump for about a week until we could get an electrician out here to fix it all up. So this is just like a petrol pump backup, and yeah, it pumps the water pretty quick, so we can fill those tanks up there pretty quick when we need to. So that works all pretty good. As you can see, it's pretty corroded looking, like everything else on the island. And that, actually, I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but when you look up here, because it's such a windy day at the moment, this week is so windy, and you can just see that mist going through there. You probably can see it actually, but yeah, that's the salt water spray from the ocean, so it just goes over everything. Like even our house it's in between the two beaches, and sometimes you see the spray just going right up over the house. So all my tools get all rusty. I actually have all my electrical gear now in sealed boxes to try and protect it. Just so much corrosion. So this is the walk back. Has a couple of really good views in it actually, and you can see how rough it is at the moment out in the ocean, but that's looking back towards the beach behind our house. Right, let's go up to the water tanks and have a look. Whew. Man, I've been doing that walk every day for the last 2.5 years. You'd think I'd be pretty fit by now. This is about, I think it's roughly about 60 meters above sea level, so it's reasonably high. So yeah, these are our tanks. We call this Tank Hill, and there's 3 tanks, another one around the corner here, so there's plenty of storage. And look, it's actually overflowing at the moment. So this here, hang on, just get the phone around here to show you. This here is actually the overflow pipe, and it goes down here and runs all the way into the bush. But it's got a leak, which is actually quite handy because I can just look at it and see when it's full, and it's actually overflowing. So the solar pump in the spring is working spot on at the moment. They reckon, and I haven't seen it, I've been here 2.5 years and I haven't seen it dry out the spring, but they reckon it can get really, really slow. And we had a pretty dry year last year and it was still fine. But so all the houses, so basically this now from here feeds all the houses, but they all have backup systems as well. So every house has a couple of water tanks that catches water off their roof that they use, and then this is pretty much a backup system really. Yeah, so that's the water system. Alright, so that is us living off grid. So living off grid's actually pretty cool. It's a good feeling actually, living off grid. And like I was saying before, not only we live off grid, but we live isolated on the island as well. So sometimes actually we get stuck on the island and we physically can't leave because the water's too rough. So sometimes we get stuck on here for weeks. But that's all part of it. That's all the exciting part, I suppose, the fun part. Apart from when you've got medical emergency. Touch wood, we haven't had one of our own yet. We had a guest here that was stung by a stingray. That was probably the worst thing that's happened on the island since we've been here. But we've had a few infections and things that you need antibiotics for and that, and yeah, that's the worrying part sometimes. But anyway, it all makes it interesting for sure. But yeah, living off grid is pretty cool. And at the moment, actually, the wife is on the mainland. So she's going on a little trip to Ayers Rock or Uluru, which with the oldest son, and so she's about 3,000 or 4,000 k's inland at the moment. So far away from the island. But anyway, she's coming back in a couple of weeks. So it's just me and Wilson now. Hey Wilson. I found Wilson when I first came here. I was on the island for a couple of weeks by myself before Andrea came to the island. And I actually found him the first week I was here. So it's just me and Wilson. We might have to go on a little adventure ourselves. Hey, right. All right, so that's about it. Hope you enjoyed. See you next time. Bye. Oh, hey, the other thing is, if you want to see some other random videos of mine, subscribe and go check them out.